Go.
Green line.
Welcome to BigGunner81 Live, everyone. Tonight, we want to first thank our sponsors. First, Eggle Stimulations at egglestimulations.com, and Tier 1 Training Corp at tier1training.com, BAT Arms at batarms.com, and I'm forgetting two more. Let's see, we've got the range at 355.com, and I'm forgetting another one. Why am I going?
You got your shades on.
That's what's messing me up, dude. Take those off.
We're good, by the way. We're live.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for checking that as well. So tonight, we're basically just do a little bit of recap of where me and Ryan and Kurt were all at this past weekend. The Three Gun Nation Southeastern Regional match down in Frostproof, Florida, which was a lot of fun. And we also have Eric Fox from Fox10 Tactical with us tonight as well. So say hi, Eric. There, are you kind of waved?
What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Thanks for making it. Last week, you may have seen the title of our show, Where is Mr. Fox?
I know, man. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yes, I know you're just kind of getting sick and stuff, so I appreciate you being on with us tonight. And Ryan, as always, we got Ryan Wiggins in the house.
What's going on?
We've got Kurt Wendt as well, another shooter friend of ours, who's out there with us shooting. So first, before we get into the Southeastern Regional, we'll talk a little bit with Eric about his company, Fox10 Tactical. So tell us a little bit about what you do and everything.
Well, pretty much a lot of paracord right now. We're trying to open up the market to, open up our market, so to speak, to branch out into not only manufacturing our own. Oh, God, Jesus. Sorry. No, yeah, trying to manufacture not only our own stuff, but carry other companies' products as well, just to turn it into a full-blown web store. But right now we're specializing mostly in paracord rifle slings. Now, I'm not going to say that we were the first to do it, because paracord's been around for so long. I'm sure somebody's done it, but I think we were the first to bring it to what it is, I guess, now, so to speak. We're the only ones, I think, that one of the largest social media pages that specialize in that. We were the first, I would say, on Instagram that started doing the rifle sling. So, I mean, there's a lot of companies since then that have popped up, but I think we kind of started that whole deal. But we also we're trying to branch out into the canine field too. We do dog collars, working on some leashes and a bunch of other stuff too. So, but our main focus is to keep the paracord going, but branch out into full-blown manufacture and get some cool stuff pumped out.
So you make slings. You're starting to make some of the canine products.
Yep.
And I know you also make bracelets too.
Yes, yeah, of course, bracelets.
Do you have any samples you can kind of show us?
Yeah, sure.
I'm trying to get these links posted there.
Let's see, we got a few over here. All right. So one thing that I would say that we do that maybe not other people that are doing this is we do one strand of paracord for each piece that we do. So there's only two sections of the sling. So this is the inside. Right up in here is where we actually thread it through. And we go pretty deep, 1 to 2 inches generally. So we don't, just cut and burn and melt it and hope it stays. And we also warranty these things for up to 3 years. So go ahead and break it, destroy it, do whatever you got to. We'll replace it.
That's awesome.
This is more of a finished product. And again, it's also, you can barely see it, but it's also threaded through. And we always go through the middle section both times that we thread it. So I haven't had the paracord part physically break over anything that's been done. I have had a buckle break, but that's because some guy tried to pull a car.
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, yeah.
The buckle broke, but the actual webbing didn't tear.
Right.
That's awesome.
So this is a specialty collar that we did for friends of ours actually out here. We're probably gonna if we if we get in with Cobra Buckle, then we will start doing these more often. But these things are expensive. So we threw a Cobra Buckle onto one of our dog collars. So you still got your D-ring where you can throw some tags or a leash on there.
That's cool.
And then the leash that we did.
Let me ask you a question about that. Is it adjustable? Was that adjustable for the dogs?
No, that one that's the thing too, is a lot of our stuff is not adjustable. So we custom fit it to you. Excuse me, if I were to make you a sling or make you a collar or something like that, and it's not the right size the first time, then I have no problem resizing it and sending a new one out. And then, but you know, it's up to the customer for the most part to get us the accurate measurements, because usually, you know, if you tell us 19 inches, we're gonna make it 19 inches. And you know, so like I said, we offer that one-time resizing fee. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, we'll make it right. And then this is our leash that we did for to match that collar. So we did just a single Cobra for the handle, but it does go into the double all the way down to the end. We threw another Cobra on here for a little quick release, so that would actually stay attached to the dog. But if you're at the dog park, you let him run around. This isn't gonna whip him, or you know, it's light enough for him to just cruise around. So
when you gotta unleash the hounds, you can just go click, boom, go.
Exactly.
Canine activate.
So for the most part, you know, the rifle slings, those are really what we've been specializing at and what we've been focusing on. And to be honest, we can't make them fast enough. Let's put it that way. And we don't limit you to a color. So if you have a color preference, sorry, it's a little hard to see, but if you have a color preference, you know, we'll make you anything. Ryan's actually got the very first sling that we ever made.
Yeah.
So you know, if we blow up to something huge, you might see that one on eBay. So stay tuned.
That's right. Get the signed Ryan Wiggins special, which Ryan's starting to come up pretty quick in that stuff with the shooting, man.
Well,
Yeah, you know,
he's getting his name out there.
well,
Which,
yeah,
by the
you
way,
know,
for those who
Right.
don't know, you actually sponsor Ryan in the shooting as well.
correct. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You know, being a smaller company, to say that we sponsor Ryan, it is pretty cool. You know, we try to help him with what we can. I think the connections that I've made through doing this has also kind of helped him out, because I'm so to speak, I could reach out to, you know, somebody from a different company tomorrow and say, hey, I got my buddy Ryan over here who's trying to go pro. Is there anything that you can do to possibly help him get there? You know, something like that. Just throw his name around, and you know, some people reach out, and they kind of make things happen. So it's been pretty cool. So
Fox10 is pretty much my agent.
you could say that.
Nice. So
No, I appreciate you, man.
do you make like just mainly single point? You make 2 point slings. What all do you make?
Well,
Dude.
here, let me grab a.
I usually have both.
Both? Or is it like a 3-in-1 or 2-in-1, whatever we call it?
Yeah, so it's like a 3-point sling, so to speak. So
Okay.
you got your 2 ends, so this could be your double point
Got it.
or your 2-point. And then we throw the D-ring in the middle, so you can actually, you know, flip it and make your single point. So, yeah, we do. Go ahead.
Let's see. The one problem I have when it comes to slings, like whether it's a single point or like a 3-point like that, is because I'm a larger guy, I need more material to work with.
Right.
So that's something I could make the measurements and tell you what size I would need, and then you can make it.
Correct. Yeah. So, and on the website, we only have small through like XL, I want to say, but I've made some big slings. Like I don't know who these are going to, but you know, people who are 6'7", 340 pounds. Like we've made them for some big dudes.
That's awesome though that you do that. So that's one of the things with my channel too as well, is that I try to find some gear for bigger guys as well, and do reviews on it, because there is still a market for that, and there's people that have a hard time finding stuff, being that when you're a bigger guy, it's shooting sports and things are more for the athletic types and stuff like that, and you're kind of
Right.
limited.
No, absolutely. And I'm pretty straightforward with it right now because, like I said, we are so small. It's like anybody who wants to take that effort to support us, so to speak, and to reach out to us anyways. If they're interested in our product and we don't offer it, then I will offer it to them. I'll make something happen. If I don't have the color that they want, I will get the color for them specifically, and I won't charge you extra. It's just the principle. It's like, I don't have what you're looking for, but let's make it work. At the end of the day, I'm a businessman. I'm trying to close a sale. I want to make the customer happy. But I also support the industry, 110%, that I don't want to turn away somebody from us because we can't make something big enough, or we can't make something small enough, or we don't have that color. It's like, I could have a list a mile long of things that I got to get done, but I'm going to add those extra things that could make the process a little bit longer to do it right, make somebody happy.
That's awesome. And speaking of colors, too, I'll give a shout out to Brandon at Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks. He's actually down right now, recovering from some back injuries. They're actually going to have back surgery coming up. He'll be recovering from that. So he's not taking on any projects right now, but he will be in the future. So keep an eye on him and what he has to come in the future at aafgw.com. Good friend of mine. But colors too, I can get this means that with my Cerakote on my rifle, now I can also get a sling that matches it if I really want to.
Yep, absolutely.
That's very cool. So I guess we'll talk a little bit now. I mean, if there's anything else you want to add first, let me ask that too, Eric. Do you have anything else you want to throw out there about what you're doing? What you got coming out or anything like that?
We got actually, it's not. I haven't said anything about this on Instagram or social medias anywhere. I haven't even told anybody about this.
81, so it's a BigGunner 81 first.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a new sling actually coming out. It's going to be kind of a smaller 2-point, more for the to help stabilize your rifle while you're standing, so to speak. To help stabilize that, it's I don't want to go into too much detail, but we're working on something. It's going to have a little bit of stretch to it, but it'll hold the tension, stuff like that. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm working with another company on that. It's actually you guys might know them out in California, 223 Designs, like the ones that do the bullet button ring. He was the one that approached me with the idea. He asked me if I had a material or something that would work, and I think I found one, and if all goes accordingly, it's going to be pretty sweet.
Awesome. That is very cool. So let's talk a little about the Southeast Regional then.
He had kind of a funny tone when he said that, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he froze.
Probably. Yes, which I guess I'll tell you guys about that for those that are watching it are not aware. So,
what happened, Rick?
What happened? This is what happened. I screwed up. I can give a million excuses, but in the end of the day, it's my fault. So I own it. I own it totally, 100%. While preloading my shotgun, somehow in my mind I was thinking that I should have one in the chamber. And from my recollection, I closed the bolt on my shotgun, went to go stage my rifle when I was called up. During the loading process of my rifle, putting my mag in it and getting it staged and setting it down on the bench, it came to mind that, wait a minute, I wasn't supposed to do that. Before I could get the words out, the other RO came over and basically said we had a problem and that there was a live round in the shotgun. And they did the little RO huddle and discussed what was going to happen. And they came to me and told me what happened and everything, and that they were going to have to DQ me. And I said, well, I understand. I made a mistake. It's too late for me to do anything about it after I realized it. They're like, well, let me call the match director over, see if there's any other, so you can make a final decision on it. I'm like, well, I'm fine with the DQ. There's nothing to argue. I messed up.
So for people that don't understand watching, Rick's talking about the shotgun preload table. Before we start a stage, we preload our shotgun magazine tubes so that we can save some time when we're getting a new shooter on deck. And it's supposed to only be loaded in the tube. And for Rick's defense, I mean, I know it's your bad and it's cool you're on up to and stuff, but you're used to shooting a magazine-fed shotgun.
Yes,
and,
I am.
And we were kind of just like, all right, here's the preload table. So I felt bad for you, man.
I ran that shotgun once before, several months earlier, and I thought that I had to have one in the round in the chamber, and I kind of forgot, I guess, and it dawned on me at the last minute that I was doing it wrong, and too late. So that's the expensive lesson learned, but I'll never forget it.
You're never going to do it again.
Never do it again. So Kurt, and we had there's a lot of DQs, by the way, at this event, which there was some discussions on the interwebs and stuff, and the way I handle my stuff, by the way, like I said, I shook their hands, said, no big deal, it's not your fault, don't feel bad, it's my problem, not yours. I hung out, did resetting the rest of the weekend and hung out with my team and just talked to people and helped reload magazines for my teammates and stuff like that, because ultimately, at the end of the day, what else are you going to do? Just throw in the towel and be angry about it? It's no one's fault but mine. So, anyhow, Kurt, I wanted to talk with you too. So, tell us a little bit about your background first. You know, we know some people out there already kind of know a little bit about Ryan and stuff, but we haven't had you on the show yet. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about your shooting background and where you kind of came into this stuff and stuff like that.
Really, I'm pretty new yet. I mean, this is my second year of taking 3-gun seriously at all. I messed around it before that, and so last year was just kind of jumping into it, and then so this is really my first match of this year, or my second year here. So.
Now, where do you shoot most of your matches at normally, and where are you from exactly? Again.
Southwest Michigan. So I usually shoot at Bend of the River Conservation Club in Niles, Michigan. It's right by the Indiana border.
Okay.
And I actually just moved recently from Grand Rapids, Michigan, so I've done some shooting up in that area as well.
So you basically went from like the what is it, the west, kind of like the middle west of Michigan, sort of?
Yeah.
Over to the other side, kind of close to like the southern eastern part of it. Is that right?
Southwestern part of it now.
Southwestern is still southwestern. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not real familiar with all the layout of Michigan, so I just thought I just know from like going out to Toby's area, because I know you know Toby Babcock as well, and you shoot with him and stuff and all that, which is really cool to see. Which I want to get out to some of those Indiana matches too. Hopefully this summer I'll get to do that. We'll see how it all goes. So this is only the second year doing that, and then you also do have some sponsors as well, though, too, right?
Yeah. Broken Key Apparel was our main sponsor last year. Got a few teammates, Team Broken Key, and then this year my title sponsor is actually Black Arsenal. It's a gun shop in Lower Michigan. There, he carries a lot of race parts, a lot of race guns. And he kind of comes from a different type of background. He was military, kind of operator tactical background. So we've been kind of partnering up a little bit on getting him more into the sport shooting aspect of things and action sport shooting. So he's carrying STI now, POF, firearms, JP Enterprises, and he's got a lot of the race parts like that and things. So we're trying to get him up to speed so he can supply the guys in the area with it, because it's really starting to blow up in our area. So. Yeah,
and likewise with us too. Here out in Illinois, like in the Chicagoland suburbs, we have the Aurora Sportsman's Club, which I'm a member of, and I work with the team for the action shooting sports with the sponsorships and stuff for the matches. We're always looking for new sponsors for that as well, but it is growing pretty quickly, and it's something that's really cool and it's very exciting. A lot of awesome stuff going on, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this year too, especially with that. So you also, before we went live and stuff, we were talking about there's a class that you're putting on, or a clinic or something like that. Tell us a little bit about that, exactly, a little more about it. As far as all that.
I'm fairly new to it myself, and we're big into trying to help bring new people into the sport, and so at Bend of the River Conservation Club in Niles, we're going to be doing 2 intro to 3-gun classes. It's basically you don't have to bring anything, just show up. The first class, April 9th.
So
class,
you don't have to bring any guns, any gear, or any ammo?
We don't have to bring anything. Nope. The club's actually supplying the ammo. We're gonna have a bunch of 3-gunners that are gonna be there that are gonna be supplying all the gear. So belts, all the guns, everything's already gonna be supplied. We're going to have 2 stages set up, so the first portion of it, probably the first few hours, will be like a classroom style. Go over the rules, the etiquette, everything you're going to need to know about what you're going to need to get into the sport, and then we'll actually go out onto the range so that they can get some time behind the guns and actually run in a couple different stages. So
that's cool. Ryan, did you have a question? I heard you kind of say something. I thought a second there.
Yeah, what's the fee? Are you guys?
Oh, the fee?
Yeah, you guys charging people?
Just $10, basically, just covering ammo for it.
Yeah.
You said $10?
Yep.
Wow.
Holy cow! That's awesome. So anybody who's in the area that wants to get a 3-gun should definitely do that, because that's like unheard of. I mean, $10 to do a class to kind of get you an idea of at least get your feet wet. And
yeah, we'll have the April 9th class, which I think is filled up now, and then the July 30th class. And then, I don't remember the date right now. You could go to the BORCC 3-gun page to check it out, because there's a schedule on there. But we'll also have a 3-gun, or a beginner match. There's going to be some easier stages and some little bit more help.
Say it again, where they can find this information out at. Say it again slow so we can catch it.
It's BORCC 3-gun. It's Facebook page.
So just search for BROCC.
Yep.
On Facebook, and you'll find the page.
Conservation Club. Yep.
Cool. I'll try to get that link from you to that page later, and I'll put it like in the description of the video too, so people can see it that way as well. I'll help out, make it a little easier, because that's one thing I realize. Sometimes when we talk about stuff, we'll give out a website address or something really quick, and people won't catch it, and they'll try to listen to it again, and they won't have it. Like, oh. So make it easy on them, because that's an awesome deal. So, was this like I used to start taking 3-gun seriously and stuff like this past year or whatever. Or was it the past 2 years? I forgot now.
This is my 2nd year, so we'll just beginning my 2nd year.
Was this this is the second time you've been out to do the 3-Gun Nation regional type stuff?
Never actually. This is my first major match, so.
Okay. All right.
I've done like some 3-Gun Nation out at Polo, but other than that, it's mainly just club matches.
Okay, right on. That makes sense, because yeah, like I'm doing like the club matches at our club. That's all mainly all I've done myself. Just so you know, is like we've had 5 matches at my club. When I went to South Carolina and did Clinton House at the Upstate 3-Gun back in November, and then this was my 7th match, if you want to call it that, with the DQ. So
Right.
DQ before I started, premature DQ, whatever, but it is what it is. So tell us a little bit about how your experience went. Like, what were your thoughts about this match being your first time at a major?
You know, I don't have any complaints about the match. You know, there's been some controversy going on, but I didn't see any of it as a problem.
The green line controversy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to run those stages, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. They explained it pretty well. That I understood.
It was painfully obvious, I thought.
Right.
They made it more than obvious.
Don't feel any guns between it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, personally, all the stage layout was great. They had a lot of 2- and 3-bay stages. You know, the match just ran smoothly, at least for our squad. You know, it was professionally done. Everything was like schedule, and you know, actually our squad was flying through it, and the squads in front of us were doing pretty well too, because we were finishing early.
Yes.
So,
now, did you do the morning or afternoon one? How did that work out for you? I think like we did the I think the morning session for Saturday, and then we were on the afternoon for Sunday. But how did that work out for yours?
We were opposite, so we did the Saturday night and Sunday morning squads.
I kind of thought so, because when my teammates were shooting the stage 1 or whatever, you were hanging out with us for a while over there.
Yep.
Which I think that was the second to last stage of the day on Sunday for us. So I figured you guys were already had done the opposite rotation.
Yeah, we were on squad 9, and it was kind of nice actually, because we started on stage 1 and then went right through stage 8. So.
Oh wow. Yeah. So you started at 1, you had to go all the way to 8.
Yeah, we started on 1, did 1 through 4 the first day, and then we did 5 through 8 the next.
Yeah. Nice. So how did you finish as far as your placement and everything goes?
I was shooting factory division, and I ended up 14th out of 16 in factory. Overall, I was 102. I think it was 172 shooters actually.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
after
That
DQ.
that was kicking my butt.
What do you say there, Ryan?
I think that's about the number after DQs.
Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there was quite a few DQs, as we were saying. Like, I was probably the first one on Saturday to DQ because I did it on the first stage before I even shot. But
You DQ'd before anyone was shooting, I think, dude.
well, there was people that I think one of the ROs said he DQ'd on Friday.
Right. Yeah, some ROs DQ'd.
So that happens. But
You know, man, at big matches, there's always a grip of DQs. It's just this, not even just Three Gun Nation. They make the stages technical. There's a lot going on. It happens, man. Even at the USPSA Nationals, when I went in Vegas, there was quite a few DQs.
yeah, you know, I don't. One thing I can say too is I don't feel bad about my DQ because it happened. It was a legitimate mistake on my part, and it was really cool to have all the people afterwards that were like very supportive of that. Like, hey, it's good that you're resetting targets and hanging out, and it's good how you're handling it and everything. And
Classy.
What's that?
It's classy.
Yes, that's the word I heard a lot. So I guess I'm classy, one classy dude, I guess. But whatever.
Dude.
I know I didn't really care about the recognition was cool that people were awesome about that, but that's what I wanted to do because that's the right thing to do in my opinion on how to handle it.
You
know, because that's the whole.
You'll never do it again.
And never do it again. No, because this time Ryan will be behind me, looking over my shoulder, making sure I don't screw up.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I know you felt bad about that. That has nothing to do with you, man. That's not on you at all, and that's my own mistake. But I appreciate you wanting to be there for me, though, nonetheless. One comment I did get that was kind of funny, it cracked me up, is after that first stage, we get to the next stage we're going to do, which was, I think it was stage, I don't know if we went 7, I think we were on stage 7 because we went to 8, that last one, all the way at the end.
Yeah, 7.
And the guy's like pulling out the order of people going to shoot, and he's like, "Where's Rick at?" And I'm like, "I DQ'd," and he's like, "Already?" And I'm like, everyone's like, "Dude, that's cool, bro." He's like, I mean, what happened? Or whatever he said after that. I'm like, not a big deal. It happened, so. But so yeah, what else? What were some of the things that you thought were really kind of interesting? Either one of you guys, either Ryan or Kurt here, that you saw there, like something that was different or interesting in some way.
I don't know, man. I had a feeling that I talked to Brian Corey a lot. He does most of the stage design for Three Gun Nation. He's the match director out at U.S. Shooting Academy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he pretty much gave me the heads up and said, I'm making this match ridiculous, and I think he succeeded. I don't know if he used the word ridiculous, but he made it technical and awesome at the same time. There were so many angles and options in this match, and they decided not to use clay pigeons in this match. So
that's true.
Right off the bat, there's no mandatory shotgun or mandatory bird shot hits, or mandatory shotgun in general, because all the slug targets you could hit with 2 pistol hits, except for the poppers. I don't know how the 2 poppers would have worked, but yeah, he took the stage design that he did on the graphic stuff and put it over in those little tiny bays over at that shooting range, and I thought it was freaking awesome. All of it, every stage I thought was good. It flowed good. There was no squads were really waiting for more than 5 to 10 minutes, which is good for the match directors and good for the flow, the stage design. And I can relate being a match director out here in Arizona. And I love going to these matches because I get to see what Brian and Charles and Rob and all the other guys put together, and I steal their ideas and I incorporate them into my match.
Yeah. You just borrow them for temporary time.
Oh, no, they're all totally supportive. They're like, dude, whatever you need, let us know. If you want to look at things, get ideas, if you want help, it's a great team. These events are ridiculously awesome.
That's the thing with Three Gun Nation and just Three Gun in general. It just seems like one big family of people.
Everyone's so cool.
They are. It's been a great experience. That's why I love this sport. We have some of the best people in this sport. In fact,
there's got to be some dicks though. I mean, maybe like 1% to 2%. There's got to be someone out there that's just not cool. So we got to give it that.
A few bad seeds in the group, you know that. Bad ones and crazy ones, whatever, So
the atmosphere is awesome. The helpfulness, the camaraderie, the joking around, it's awesome. Like when I forgot to load my shotgun, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with my shotgun? And I tried to
that was
load.
the awesome moment, by the way. In case Kurt didn't hear about this one, go ahead and tell us.
I did.
Oh no, that one stage where your shotgun was unloaded, and you start with your rifle. And, yeah. Well,
Stage number 2, right?
I got my shotgun and I pull the trigger on a piece of steel. I'm like, what the hell? I rack it, lock back to the rear. I dropped it forward, pull the trigger again. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with my shotgun? And I flipped it over and looked in the bottom, and I was like, oh God, I didn't load it. And
so you did the totally opposite thing that I did, pretty much. But yours wasn't.
I was cracking up. The ROs were trying to hold their mouths so they wouldn't laugh at me while I was shooting. But when I was done shooting, everyone just started busting up laughing. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, we had.
That was the only stage that was unloaded start on the shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
So that's another example of stage design. I mean, you look at that little tiny bay. What was it? 30 yards deep, 25 yards deep, and 15 yards wide. And they had us getting super technical with all 3 guns.
Right. The other thing too is, I don't know, Kurt, if you have anything else you want to add to that about stuff that you thought was different or interesting?
No, I mean I agree. The stages were awesome. I like having the options. You can either it works to some people's advantage. You can either play to your strengths, or you can hang yourself on matches or on stages like that. So it's fun to shoot those and fun to watch others shoot them.
Absolutely. The thing that kind of confused me a little bit too is it seemed like you had a lot of options as far as what you could use. Like on certain steels, you could use the slugs or this or that, whatever, or you could do this, and there's different colors of steel, and a lot of stuff to take in. And you just had to kind of recite it in your head a few times before doing it, I suppose. But I didn't get that far, obviously. But I did have the option of, or did have the benefit of going through some of these stages on the first, actually on Friday when we got there and we were doing the walkthroughs and stuff, working with Jay Carrillo a little bit to go through and kind of mentor me a little bit about how to break down the stage in your head and how to do your countdowns of your round counts and stuff. And that was kind of cool to kind of get to do that kind of a walkthrough with somebody who's at that skill level, who's got it down to almost a science pretty much. So I learned a lot of little things from him, and I used the opportunity, even after my DQ, to try to take in as much as I could about how to run these stages and break them down and what to do and what not to do and that kind of stuff. So it was a good experience, and for me. And the other thing was, speaking of the stages, was the pistol caliber carbine, the PCC or whatever. That was a new addition, the new thing, and actually Jay Carrillo was actually running. In that class, which was kind of cool to see and talk with him a little bit about what he was running and his the pros and cons of how that all went for him. He was having a little rough time with his actual carbine though that he was running. Some difficulties with that anyway that kind of slowed him down a bit, but overall, I mean, he did pretty well, and it was great to learn from him and just to see that class being something kind of new, and it's kind of interesting for the fact that you could run a 9mm rifle in a sense and a 9mm handgun and be able to share that ammo between the two and kind of cut your costs a little bit maybe. So I could see a good benefit in that for sure, at least in my opinion. My opinion based on my limited knowledge and skill at this point, of course. What are your guys' thoughts on the pistol caliber carbines? Like Ryan first?
I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. It's cool, but I don't know. I think if we're setting up like a 3-gun stage and we have to set up a totally separate set of targets long range for guys that want to run pistol out of their rifles.
True.
I don't know. I mean, people want to do it, so that's cool. I mean, if it builds up, awesome. At my club, if 4 or 5 guys show up and start shooting pistol caliber carbine, I'll try to incorporate some stuff into the match, so it'll make it more entertaining for them as well.
Right, but that's your work as a match director and for stage setup, of course.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like shooting my rifle. I like shooting .223. It's fun. It's loud. It's gassy. It's dirty.
Yes, I like it too. There's no doubt about that. I'm just looking at maybe there's benefits to it too. There's something to try out.
You won't see me shooting it, but I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that want to do it and like to explore the different sides of of shooting sports. Like you'll never find me shooting production class, probably not open class, trying to get classified in anything. But that's just, I guess I'm just simple. There's a lot of guys out there that work all different realms of the shooting sports, and that's cool. I mean, I can't imagine what they're going to do in Alabama and Texas I mean, we were shooting 400 something yards. So
do you know off the top of your head if they're going to have that class in Alabama as well for was it the Eastern?
Well,
no, that's a
I mean, that was the introduction to pistol caliber carbine in regional series matches. So I'm sure they're not going to be like, oh, you know, Florida pistol caliber carbine's cool, but Alabama it's not. But just like every other class, it's going to require a certain amount of people to sign up to where they can incorporate it into the match, into the prize table, and into the applications and stuff.
So what was your take on it, Kurt, as far as the PCC pistol caliber carbine?
I guess it doesn't really interest me. Again, I like shooting the rifle. I like shooting 223. I guess it's, you know, you have more options as a shooter. You can take a lot of the pistol targets with your PCC on that. It's rough, a little bit more rough on a match director because you got to keep that in mind when you're making stages, whether you know they can engage pistol targets with those and long distances and things like that. So I don't know, it's new, you know, so it's I haven't seen it really at clubs much either, so it could be both good and bad, but it's too new to say for me, really, I guess. That's really the first time I've seen it.
That makes sense. Yeah, it is something that's new, so it's just going to have to kind of see how many people get interested in it and where it goes. Because obviously, you said it's not for everyone's taste, for sure, you know, if they want to run a pistol caliber in their rifle or not. But one thing I'll say that was kind of cool, too, which made my DQ a little bit sweeter, in a sense, was getting the time to go hang out with the guys from Tresna Defense and shooting their pistol caliber carbines that they had out there, and they had one that was full auto, their military police model. So that was the first time I actually got to shoot a full auto. I know, Ryan, you're probably laughing because you have access to that all the time, but I don't. I've never had to do that. Closest thing I've come was putting a bump fire stock on one of my ARs and blasting off a few rounds.
There you go.
A few mags, I should say. That's a lot of fun, but that full auto little SBR with a 9mm, that was really controllable, really lightweight, just balanced. I liked the way it felt. So I thought it was really cool to hang out with them. I got a little video too for those of you guys out there watching. And just search for BigGunner81 Tresna Defense, TRESNA, I think it is, TRESNA. I have a video that I just had showing just the clips of me shooting it, which is pretty cool. Something kind of short and sweet, but that was nice. And again, I want to say thank you to the guys at Tresna Defense too for supporting our sport. I want to say hobby. It is kind of a hobby, but it is also a sport too. Because the companies like them, that makes it possible for us to do more things, you know, to grow the sport, really, in general. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. What else do I want to add? We have any other...
Did you shoot the rifles over at that muzzle brake, the Tactical?
Did I? Or did Kurt?
Did either of you guys?
Yeah. I did. What was your thoughts on it?
Or what? I've never shot an AR that shot so flat.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjustability with those. It's a really cool idea.
It's kind of pricey, but it was a cool idea.
Well, I mean, it's only a couple dollars more than a lot of the muzzle brakes on the market, and you get a full kit with all those baffles. I mean, you're not just getting the muzzle brake, but you're getting like 6 other highly engineered pieces of equipment or little pieces of stuff that go on your muzzle brakes. It's like a whole kit.
It is. You're right. You're right about that. It is only a little bit more expensive than some of our other ones.
His whole concept. I mean, he told me he was a gunsmith, or I told him that I was a gunsmith, and he's like, okay. He started getting technical with me, and he was explaining all the different pressures and stuff, and what he was pushing through each holes, and when he switches it around, what it's changing and stuff, and
yeah, he was
30,000 to 18,000 psi between 2 ports, and directing the gun in different ways depending on the shooter and how long their arms are and stuff. I was blown away. This industry is getting so cool.
What company was that?
It was Tactical.
Yeah, they were one of the vendors there, and like I think sponsors of the the match as well.
Right on. What's that running? You're saying it's a couple dollars more than what?
They're $160 for the entire kit.
That's not bad then for
I mean,
what
yeah.
it seems like.
You look at like Surefire or Lantac. I don't know what Lantac's going now, but there's a whole bunch of muzzle brakes out there that are in between $120, $150.
It's like the Surefire. I paid.
Did I install
that? No. You ask me that all the time. I bought it from you, but you didn't put it on, or you didn't weld it or whatever.
Probably not timed right.
That's why it's so loud. Is that why?
Right.
Is that why it throws a fireball this way?
I love that.
Well, that's gonna be the next one-liner of word or whatever for next week.
What?
Fireball.
Fireballs. Yeah.
Not just a drink, but it's also it's a fireball coming out of your gun.
So I don't know a whole lot about 3-gun. I know what Ryan tells me pretty much, but
right.
I would say it's a matter of time before even Jess and I get out there and maybe run some pistol matches or start messing around with some stuff. But we'll see.
That would make my week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see you do that too. I agree.
Yeah, that would be fun. I just got to heal up, man. You were talking about your buddy earlier who's going into back surgery. I've been having back issues since I think August of this last year. So still kind of out. Can't really do a whole lot, but yeah. So hopefully, once I'm 100%, start playing around with some stuff.
Good deal. Absolutely. So, let's say, Kurt, what did you actually get off the prize table? If you want to talk about that or not.
Yeah, I got 500 rounds of Freedom Munitions was the main title sponsor. I got 500 rounds of 124 grain 9mm, stickers, gun oil. I got some extreme bullets, 22 caliber projectiles. And I think that was about it.
Now, do you reload also or no?
What's that?
You reload also?
I do, yeah.
Cool.
I've been reloading 9mm. I just started. I just got all the kit I need to start reloading 223. I just haven't got all the supplies for it yet. So.
Awesome. Now I've been reloading a lot of 9mm lately, because I have been using a lot of 9mm. But I've mentioned Untitled Munitions as one of our sponsors of the show, and I would definitely recommend checking them out because the price point for people to do volumes of shooting for target loads is phenomenal. When you break down and buying, like I think last I looked, when you buy about 1,500 count, it end up being like close to 5 cents a projectile maybe. And there's a coupon code too for those out there that are watching. It's just BigGunner81 in capital letters. It should be 10% off your complete order.
Nice.
So that saves you 10% is pretty nice when you're trying to break down costs into projectiles and stuff. So go ahead and check out. They're polymer coated, hard cast lead basically, and they work really well. So I like them. That's why I use them, and that's why I would continue to work with them. So I figured I'd throw that out there. So what else did you get there, Ryan, off the prize table? If you want to tell us what you got.
I got some new shades.
Is it Oakley's?
Oakley's.
Nice.
Some extreme bullets, 55 grain projectiles.
That's right.
Some
You remember this? You were talking about this because you actually don't reload.
I do not reload.
Yes.
And I also do not shoot 55 grainers, but my buddy who reloads for me does, so he will probably be shooting those bullets.
Is that same buddy our buddy that was shooting the Tavor?
Yes, that is Mr. Brian Williams, featured in 2 issues ago, 3-Gun Nation, shooting the Tavor Nationals.
Really? I didn't know he was in the 3-Gun Nation. Dude, you and
yeah,
him
they
both.
gave him the whole page. It was awesome.
Man, that's awesome. Totally cool. But I thought that was neat. For those of you that follow my Instagram at instagram.com/BigGunner81, there's pictures of his Tavor sitting in my my cart, the yellow cart. Because first off, when I was there in the morning, the first day when the day I DQ'd, I still had all my gear with me. I was pulling around everywhere, and he's like carrying all this stuff around, and he's like, "Hey, can I put this in there?" I said, "Sure." So he stuffed the Tavor in there. And then the second day, I didn't need my so the cart I let Jake Grillo use it for the whole day, and then afterwards when we were out doing our afternoon session or whatever, I brought it so you and Brian could use it. And so we had the Devore and all your gear and his gear all piled in that thing. It was a pretty cool picture. I love it. Every time I go to a match with it, it seems that I get like another rifle added to my cart, which is cool. You know, I'm not complaining. It's funny.
You know, he actually shoots an IWI 9mm as well.
Yes.
Shoots a Jericho.
Yes, that's what he said. He had to complete the was it Israeli ensemble or whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. He seems like a pretty cool dude.
No, he is definitely. We just finalized our plane tickets and our travel and our rental cars and stuff for Alabama, which is in 30 days.
Yes, and I will be there too. As far as I know, I'm signed up for it. I'm in. I should be riding down with my team, you know, Team Tier 1 marksmanship team.
Are you going to?
Yeah, Kerr, are you going to Alabama?
I'm not.
Yeah. I thought you said you weren't.
I'm not up to that one, no.
Are you going to any other ones?
I don't have anything planned at this point. This was kind of.
I'm waitlisted for the South Carolina match. No, Ryan, you're in for that one.
Yeah, I was talking to some people. I'm pretty sure it's full.
It is full. So I'm waitlisted. I'm 18. There's 18 people ahead of me. If there's some no pays, then I might have a good chance of getting in for that one. Because I checked on that with Tennille not too long ago. But I am in for Alabama for sure. And like I said, I should be going down there with my friends from the Tier 1 marksmanship team.
That's
right
a
now.
sweet facility, by the way.
We got Brock's Gap. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Right. Did you see our trailer, by the way, too, for the team?
I did. It's really large.
It is. Isn't that pretty awesome? We had a lot of room in there. I'm like, I'm going to ask if we could take an ATV if you could ride ATV on that property or not. No? Some places
Probably
I heard
not.
you can, but probably not. So if for some chance that you could, because you can do it at our club, we're allowed to do that.
Right. Usually at the big matches, they don't allow that kind of stuff, but you can always email and ask, man.
I will. Otherwise, I'll just say we got the trailer. I could probably put it in there and bring it with, haul the gear around.
Show up with it.
Just show up with it?
Yeah, put 3 Gun Nation stickers all over it so it looks official and shit.
Yeah, just throw the 3 Gun Nation stickers on an ATV and ride around with it and pretend I'm supposed to be there with it and no one will say anything, right?
Right.
Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to them about helping them with stuff or something in the future too. There was a short conversation where Tennille said they had talked to me because they were, always looking for people. It sounds like to help with setups and things and whatnot. I'm not at that level where I want to do any ROing, obviously, and I haven't taken any classes for ROing, so I'm not ready for that for sure. But helping set up and tear down and things like that, I wouldn't be opposed to helping with for sure. So. I'm having a conversation soon, but I think all in all, it was a great experience. Like I said, just for me, even though I didn't get to actually shoot, and you can look at it as a big bummer. It costs a lot of money to enter that. Well, a lot compared to a regular Club Series match. So that's what I'm basing off of. But yeah, it was an expensive learning experience. But on the flip side, I'm glad. If I was going to DQ, I DQ'd at the beginning of the day, where all those rounds that I expended. That I didn't expend got saved for next time. Versus,
Hey, at least you didn't DQ by a negligent discharge into your foot.
who has that happened to?
It's happened to some shooters out there. Not at 3 Gun Nation, but
Okay.
it can happen.
That would suck bad.
There was one that was pretty close in our group.
Really?
Really?
Discharge that was like a couple feet from him.
Oh, so he got DQ.
Yeah.
Was it less than 10 feet?
What's that?
It was less than 10 feet.
I still didn't hear you.
Less than
It
10.
was less than 10
Oh,
feet.
yeah, it was less than 10 feet. It was probably 2 feet from him.
Pardon my ignorance on this, but Ryan, is that a rule? Like, if it's negligent discharge within 10 feet, is that a distance thing in the rules, or no?
Yeah, there's something to do with that.
So if you accidentally fire a gun and it's like 12 feet away, then it's not DQ?
I think negligent discharge is a negligent discharge. But I think they have that rule because some are rules similar to whatever 10 feet into the dirt is because sometimes people are shooting, they get real crazy and it spits around and they may still be shooting at a piece of paper, but they're hitting 4 feet under and 4 feet over.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like going over the side berm. Like you can hit the top of the side berm on accident if you're shooting at a target, or you could hit at a lower angle on accident if you're getting all crazy like.
So technically, it's like a borderline of a negligent discharge, but yet it's kind of like in the process of shooting at a target, but you're just so far off, but you're not within a certain distance of yourself. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
I think sometimes people like to burn a round. Like if they know they have 1 round left in the gun, they'll burn it instead of putting the shit down and go into a barrel.
I asked that question about something, about burning off a round on something. I forgot what it was. But I know with the bird shot, I've heard that before. Like if you have a slug in there and you got an extra bird shot you're trying to burn through to get to that slug.
Yeah, you just have to be pointing at the target.
You just have to do it at a target?
Yeah, in the direction of targets. When you watch my footage that I'm uploading right now, you'll see I did that on the stage. I had to burn 2 bird shots and then throw my slug in on the match saver.
Right. It was faster than try to eject it, I guess.
I think that was the one. Isn't that the one you got DQ'd on? Or maybe not. When we had to run across the road and had that swinging slug target.
Who got DQ'd?
You.
I had it on stage 7. Because we went to 8 next after that.
I'm not good with numbers, but whatever. Yeah, as long you can burn rounds as long as you're pointing at something. I mean, you don't want to point them up in the air and burn rounds, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Come over 180 and shoot into a side burn for no reason. You got to make it look like you're, trying to burn around.
Trying to do something safe. Because you are.
Perception.
Yeah, the other thing was kind of cool is getting the chance to see other people's gear. Like normally I shoot the MK 1919, which is the mag-fed AR pattern-looking shotgun, and one of the guys there, actually in our group, was shooting one. And same company, Tooth Nail Armory made it and stuff, and I could see what kind of modifications he had on his and kind of compared notes. But
yeah.
With Jeff, is Jeff Johnston? Is that it?
Yeah, dude, he's only got like 3 fingers.
Yes. Yeah, he had from his story, he had an accident when he was 17 years old that sliced off his fingers, and he had one that was part of his finger from his one hand they put on the other hand. But that's a challenge in itself, right there. Not having all your digits completely there.
Oh yeah, that guy's awesome too, by the way.
He is. I had a good conversation with him. And he's very helpful. He taught me, kind of taught me something, showed me something about how he did his magazines, because one of my concerns was, hey, how do you put them on a belt? What can you do with them? Because they're so large and massive, those 10-round gauge mags.
It was a 25-rounder.
That's a 23 from Tooth Nail Armory. They take 2 of the 10-rounders, and they cut like the feed lips off the one, and they make a coupler. And they put it together, and they either put a different spring or they put 2 of the springs together. That's how they originally were doing it. They were looking for a different spring, I guess, but it's a massive 23-round magazine. So anyway, I'm asking him, like, how do you manage those? Like, how do you carry them around a belt? Well, he showed me, because I was seeing how they hooked it on his cart. He took Kydex, like super thick Kydex, and like heat formed it. And he was talking about how he made like a jig and took a 3/8 piece of like plywood or whatever it was to make the thickness of it, and basically made like a clamp-like shape or a little like slotted-like shape to it, and some type of double-sided tape that's made for like plastics, he said, to use. Which I was going to message him to get more information about it, just so I can remember what it was exactly. But he basically made a clip that you could use to hook it over your belt. Now it's not going to like latch on your belt, but it'll clip over it, and that might be a good way to kind of carry these mags possibly in the future. So I'm like, that's awesome. I learned something from him, and because I want to actually run my magazine-fed shotgun, obviously, like I was discussing, not because of necessarily the problem that I had with this DQ, because that's something in his learning experience regardless, but because I'm most used to running that, and I like being able to switch between the AR platform. Yes, it puts me on Unlimited class and whatever, and I got razzed about that Unlimited by a couple people about the fact that Unlimited class is only for people who are either overweight and slow or old. And I go, really? I'm like, that's kind of hard. Then I start looking at who's running in Unlimited, Ryan, as we know, and who places like to the top, and it's like, really? Yeah, okay, whatever. Who cares? So I'm back to wanting to run my shotgun again because I'm used to it, and I like I said, the controls are the same for my AR platform to the shotgun, so it's like there's no thinking about it. It's just already ingrained in me how to deal with it. So, and I got razzed about that too from Jay Kroll a little bit about why would you run a shotgun that you don't normally run all the time at a major match? And I said, well, I've ran it once before, but yeah, I probably should have stuck with my stuff. It might have helped me out in that situation, possibly.
Yeah, I was just looking up weather for Alabama.
It's 30 days away, Ryan.
Well, I was looking at weather history from 1974 to 2012.
Okay, to get an average of the temperatures.
Yeah, it looks like, judging by the history of the world, it's going to be in between 70 and 80 degrees, 70 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
With a chance of dropping below 59 degrees Fahrenheit for one day and one day only.
Wow. Hey, if it's that cool, I'm happy. Because if it gets over like, when it gets like in the 80s, 90s, that starts to kill me.
Yep, me too.
So I know. Well, we had that discussion too, but in the past about you had like, what do you like? You actually had like a borderline of heat stroke or something.
I've had heat exhaustion in the past, so
right.
My body is able to get to that point a lot easier now, and that's what happens. You get your body to that point once, and it's way easier to do it again.
Yep.
So I have to be extra careful.
Yeah, really important to stay hydrated at these events because mostly all of them take place in the summer too, and you're exerting and sweating. You need to stay hydrated, keep your electrolytes, all that kind of stuff that we talked about before. You know,
definitely.
For sure.
Weather's a big factor for our sport, believe it or not. I mean, in 3 Gun Nation, they're going to shoot rain or shine.
Right.
Unless it's like 200-mile-an-hour torrential hurricane, obviously. But if it's pouring rain or icy out, we're still gonna run.
And speaking of that raining part, I asked Toby, I'm like, do you think I should bring rain gear? And he's like, yeah, you should. And then like later on, he's like, I go, are you gonna bring rain gear? He goes, nah. He goes, I'm running it. He goes, that's just how it is. He goes, I might bring an umbrella with, but he's like, I don't care. We're running it regardless of what the weather's like. We just do it. So I'm like, right on. We're just gonna do it. Deal with it. So, Kurt, you guys have any suggestions too? Speaking of a couple things, real quick, I was gonna ask, as far as the weather or like, staying hydrated or any other things like that have to do with the actual being there and getting it done type stuff. Like any suggestions or tips that we didn't really maybe mention?
I guess what I've found biggest thing is, your clothes are a big thing. You got to be conscious of if you're shooting in the middle of July or when it's really hot and you're wearing hats, that can hold a lot of heat in. Whether you're wearing pants or shorts, the sun beating down on you. Sometimes pants are actually better if you get a light pair of pants or something like that. So your jersey, just when you're putting your gear together, that's something to think about in the middle of summer. You need to have something that's cool and that wicks moisture and everything. So
that makes sense. I know that's something that we kind of thought about too. Like Toby was saying, when I was talking to him, like, because he's been to, he's our team captain and he's been to these matches before. I'm asking for suggestions. He's like, you may want to bring shorts. I brought a pair of shorts with just in case, but I ended up wearing my pants. Normally I run like proper pants because they make them in my size. 5'11" Tactical is just like one size too small for me, so as I lose weight, I might be able to get into 5'11s. But proper has a lightweight and like a heavyweight material. So I have one of each right now. One of my green ones are the lightweight material, and my black ones I had were the heavyweight. I just ordered another pair of the black in the lightweight. But I'm kind of starting to rethink the colors too, because like you said, the heat thing, black tends to be hotter. My friends were wearing like the lighter tans type pants, and my green ones, which are lightweight, being green, like the lighter olive green, whatever you want to call it. those just seem so much cooler too, which is obviously the lighter material is the big factor, but also the color as well, I'd say. So it's, like you said, stuff to consider when you're picking out your clothes, the climate you're going to be going to, stuff like that. I agree with that. You know, again,
That's things that people don't normally think about when you're getting ready for a match. You know, I mean, we always take a cooler and we try to take, you know, like some Gatorade, water, and then we always put like some P3s in there because they're a quick and easy snack on the range. You know, and you want to keep.
What's a P3?
They're like like the Oscar Mayer. They got like ham or turkey or some kind of meat and like almonds and cheese in it, something like that. So it's quick and easy on the range. You know, you can just peel it open. You're not digging into food with lead all over your hands and everything for shooting.
That's something else that's good to mention too, because I noticed that like when you're resetting steel targets a lot, you know that hot steel is hitting the paint. You're gonna get like they repaint some of these targets on the go, and that paint doesn't get fully dried sometimes, and you're gonna get some paint on your hands. You're gonna get lead dust on your hands, and then like to go wash your hands. You know, some places have bathrooms, like regular bathrooms with running water. Some might not.
Yep.
So it might be advantageous to bring like gloves with. I've seen some people bring like mechanics gloves with when they're doing resets. They throw them on real quick. You might even just want to bring some nitrile gloves with it, you know, possibly too. I don't know. Keep that lead off of you.
Yeah.
Again, it may not like absorb into your skin necessarily like just by touching it, but from you eating it and touching your hands on your food and breathing the dust coming off of you or whatever, that's a different story. That's like Ryan said, that's like the big way of getting it into your system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought we had that discussion before, I thought.
Yeah, lead pretty much only enters your system by eating it or inhaling it.
Right. So, with that being said, we're just about an hour now. We'll go ahead and wrap things up with this tonight. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add. Eric, you got anything you want to throw out there?
You know, no, not really. I mean,
how does everybody find you, too, by the way, for your products and stuff? Where do they find you?
We're on every social media outlet, I think, just about at Fox10 Tactical. Fox10Tactical.com is our website.
Awesome.
There's some stuff currently that's out of stock that we're working on refilling. We're going to have some new apparel here soon. I mean, just, you know, a little bit of the basic stuff.
Fox10 Tactical shirts and such?
Yeah, because we did some run on them a while ago, and it's just something that we put on the back burner. We're not an apparel company, so
right.
You know. No, but we got some stuff in the works and new products, all that good stuff coming out here soon.
Cool. Well, we will stay in touch. I'll talk to you because I know I've mentioned before about sling, and I want to get one of those bracelets from you too. Yep. I think they're pretty awesome. They showed me they got the Tyranny style clasp for them, like what do you call the ones the plastic ones that you squeeze?
It's just like your normal snap buckle or whatever you want to call it.
You got a metal. You got a metal one with a pin too. You were showing me.
Yep. Yeah, the metal shackle and then the plastic push release, so to speak. You know, got it right next to me. So it's your metal shackle.
Cool.
And that's adjustable too. So you know, for not much, I think it gives you about a 1/2 inch. And then your normal just little button push kind of deal.
Nice. Right on. That's very cool. Like I said, we'll be talking to you soon about that. And check them out, Fox10Tactical.com.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks for being on with us, Eric. I appreciate it. We finally were able to get you on here, too, because last week you tried and didn't work out. But
yeah, I had a lot going on.
I hear you. No worries, man. So, Ryan, you got anything you want to throw out there?
Not really. I want to thank the people that run 3Gun Nation for putting on a sweet match.
Yes, sir.
You know, P. Brown, Chad Adams, Charles Soule, Tennille, Chris Cannell, hard-working dude. They do such a good job. And I guess I don't know if I should apologize or not, or just mention it. But apparently, that video that I posted with the shotgun, and I was swearing while I was reloading the shotgun, and I realized it was empty. I guess that's causing problems. So
wait, what problems? The swearing part was causing problems?
I'm a sailor, and like me or not, I'm gonna swear for the rest of my life. So
yeah,
if you don't like it, don't watch my videos. Thanks for having me on, though.
Oh, absolutely. Realistically, you weren't swearing at somebody. You were swearing at your shotgun.
Yeah, I was.
Right? You weren't like cursing out ROs or someone else. You were just like
swearing at myself. it's not an administrative thing.
Right.
I mean, they say the F word after 10 p.m. on TV now, so we're whatever. People suck these days.
Yeah, it's all right. So, no, I appreciate you mentioning that, though. Of course, so that's cool. And Kurt, you got anything else you want to throw out?
No, yeah, great match. Thanks to everyone that hard work that put it on. You know, the ROs out there working hard. If you're interested in checking out 3-Gun, you know, come check us out at Bend of the River, and go check out Black Arsenal if you get a chance.
Cool. Well, thanks, Kurt, for being on with us. I know it's your first time exploring the interwebs with the Google Iron Hangouts and stuff. So hopefully we'll have you on in the future again. And I'm hoping that this coming summer, maybe I can make out some of the Indiana events. Maybe get to hang out with you there and do some shooting with you too.
Absolutely.
It was great. And unfortunately, we didn't get to have Zach Weaver on with us tonight. I know he must have been tied up with something. Try to get a hold of him.
Yeah, we'll get him on for sure.
We'll hang out with him again in the future. So very cool. I also want to thank again, like you guys did, all the guys at all the guys and girls, I guess, at 3-Gun Nation. Say it properly. Everybody out there that did all the hard work, especially the ROs, especially the ones that had to DQ me. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but all the ROs that had to deal with that problem that I caused, and Mike Sexton as well. You know, no hard feelings, nothing wrong with that. Appreciate all your hard work with what you're doing, and we'll keep on going with it, and hopefully, you know, I learned from this and can become a better shooter because of it. Again, I want to thank our 5 sponsors. Brandon over at Applied Arsenal Finishes. As I said, he's out right now. We should be back probably by June 1st, I believe, so he's out for a while. But looking to get Cerakote done, keep in mind at afgw.com. The Range of 385, our new range that's here at local, and hopefully Ryan, you'll get to come out here and check it out at therange385.com too for their website. I know we talked about that, maybe getting you to come out to the Chicagoland area and hang out with us and do some shooting at the new facility. Barry from BAT Arms, batarms.com, who's been very supportive of the show and stuff. He's been on with us a few times here and there when he can because of his other work schedule. We also have Eggleston Munitions, egglestonmunitions.com, and of course Toby at Tier 1 Training, tier1training.com, who's sponsors our show and helps us out with a lot of stuff with our shooting as well, which I appreciate him taking me down to Florida, even though I wish I would have done better with my shooting, I guess if you want to call it. So I kind of felt like I let those guys down a little bit, but nonetheless, I appreciate their support and them believing in me and all that stuff, and everything that we do here with this show. And thank you, all of you again, Eric, for being out with us, and Ryan, as always, for helping out with this stuff. You know, this is kind of like our show, like I say. And Kurt as well, thank you for being on. And until next time, everybody, go out and have some fun shooting.